family, welcome to another video. In this one, I'm going to show you one of the devices that I had started using on my way to getting to 50 years old and looking younger at 50 than I did at 40, okay? So this is a device that I have used for quite a few months now. I got it on Amazon. It is called the Avorla. And this device has different functions, several different functions that help you reduce wrinkles, tighten your skin, improve elasticity, and so on and so forth. So I've been using this on and off for a few months and I absolutely love it. I feel like when I use it often, I actually see more of a difference in my skin and the tightness of it and my skin tone and everything. But definitely some market improvements in my laugh lines where I used to have. You guys saw me do the fillers there and everything, and that didn't, of course, fix it. It temporarily alleviated some wrinkles, but this one is actually seemingly doing a better job. So I'm going to show you how I use it. I'm not going to go into too much in depth. I will try to remember to provide the link down below so that you can find it. Again, I got this a while ago, so it's possible they have newer ones. So anyway, this is the device. Oh, okay, I just dropped that. It's called the Avorla device, right? It's charging now, so it's plugged in. This is the base where you see here, this is the base. You pick this up and this is the part that you use, okay? Now, it has several different functions, and I'll tell you that the functions that it has, I'll see if when I turn it on, you'll see. Okay, so the first function you have is a clean function. I never use that. I don't know the point of it, but there is a brochure that tells you everything. So you turn it on and then you do different strengths. As you can see moving up there, different strengths. The next function is the import. Supposedly if you want something that topical that you've put on your face to absorb better into your skin, you use the import. I don't use that either, and those are the different strengths you see on the top. Next function is the eye care. Eye care is supposed to tighten the skin around your eyes. I don't use that one either because I'll show you the functions that I use, but I don't use that either. And then you can, of course, increase the intensity of it. The next function, and this function I use, EMS Up. That sends pulsating vibrations in your skin to get to the deeper layers to help to generate collagen. That's the one I use the most, okay? And there are different strengths of it, and you have to be careful. It's no joke. So I start at like the 2 bars, and then depending on different parts of my face, I have more sensitivity in some parts of my face than others. So depending on which part of my face I'm using it on, I may make it more powerful or less powerful. Then the next one is infrared light. It says, you know, RF LED, and you will see that it actually has the red light, and it also has heat. Heat also helps to, you know, your skin to produce more collagen. So I use that also. Those two are the ones I use the most. You can, of course, increase the intensity as you can see at the top there, as you like. I use those two the most. Now those I use mostly on all my face, and then mostly on my neck and my chin. And I have seen definite improvement in my double chin and also my neck. Then the last one is a cooling one. The cooling one I use for my eyes. I feel like it can reduce the bags under my eyes some. So I use that once in a while. That one you can't do the intensity of it, but it actually feels like ice when you use it. So those are the functions in here. I will show you exactly how I do it. Now you can use a gel. It helps for especially the parts that are pulsating or generating some kind of electromagnetic pulses. It helps that to actually conduct that better. So that's the gel. I don't use this anymore because I have my snail mucin that does the exact same thing. However, even better, because not only am I using it to conduct, to help to conduct the electromagnetic pulses and whatnot, but I'm actually treating my skin also, right, with the snail mucin. And you've seen my snail mask video that tells you the amazing things that this does. So if you look at my skin, it looks a lot smoother, and I'll try and remember to put a previous video or a picture of what my skin used to look like. My pores are actually better. Let me not use, even my scar looks more reduced or less pronounced, but my pores actually look a whole lot better now. And I don't know if you could see it properly. So I start with like a quarter of my face, and then I don't do too much of it, because this gel does take, you can spread it over a wide area. For this gel, you can spread it over a wide area, and it takes a long time before it even dries, which is amazing. So I take my time and I spread it, right? And I do that quarter of my face first, right? Where is it? I'll do the EMS up first there, and then after that I'll do the next function, which is the RF LED, and then I move to the next quarter. So that's how I do it. And while I'm doing this, I am watching something on my okay, so I'm on my computer, of course, or I'm playing music. So I'm feeling radiating, pulsating, sensations on my skin from this, and it's pop, 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 pop. So I move it around so you can do it in different areas. Where I have more meat, I don't feel it as much, right, as where I have more bone, like my jawline. My jawline, when it's pulsating, I feel it a little bit more. But where I have less meat, like right here, I feel it. I feel it for sure. So I may use just the 2 bars here, but when I go higher to these areas, I may increase the bar to a 3rd one. And then let's see, of course I can always reduce it. You just have to keep hitting it for it to go all the way up, and then it'll start lower again. So let's see if I can take yeah, it's good. I can do 3 here because I have a lot of meat, a lot of blubber, right? So I do here, and I'll do this till it has, I think, a timer of maybe 2 minutes. So when it's done with 2 minutes, it turns, it moves to the next function automatically. And I'm adding more because it's absorbing into my skin now, which is a great thing, right? So it automatically moves to the next function. And so you can do the next function, or you can go right back to the previous function, which means you go all the way to the end of the function and then go from the top again, which is annoying. You can't go forward and back easily. Now my skin on my neck, which is thinner, when I use the level 3, oh, I feel it. I feel it, like even in my ear. When I'm doing my neck, I feel it in my ear into my hair. It's really weird. Really, really weird. So I'm on 3, right? And I feel it on my chin a lot too. So the 2 beeps, the 2 long beeps, beep, beep, shows that it's done with that one. So now the next option is the RF LED. So when it's blinking, it's basically asking you, pick me, pick me, pick me. So when you hit the on button once, it selects it, right? And you see that it's turned on now. And then you use the top button to select the power, the strength. I can do the heat just fine, so I do all the way up. But I will tell you, if you leave it at one spot for a long time, it feels like it's actually going to burn you. So you have to be careful. You don't want to burn yourself, right? Of course you don't want to burn yourself. But it's definitely penetrating deeper to help generate collagen and tighten your skin. Ow, okay. So is it all the way up? Yeah, that was all the way up. Okay. So when it comes to this area, as I was showing you, this area I had a lot of acne scarring there. Dude, I'm telling you, I had pimples the size of mosquito bites when I was a teenager. And I got no help from anybody as to how to treat it. Everybody's like, oh, you're just a teenager. It's going to go away when you're not a teenager anymore. No, it did not. I actually, in my 20s, had to figure out different things to not to eat, or to supplements to take, and topical things to use before it started to subside. And even until after I had my children, I was still getting this problem. So don't, if you're a teenager and you're watching this, or if you have teenage kids, please don't tell them that they're going to break out just because you're teenagers. Don't say that. I have teenagers now, and their faces are much smoother than when I was a teenager. Why? Because when I started to see the breakout happen, I found products for them to use. And when they use them ridiculously, religiously, they're not having the breakouts. So stop telling teenagers that they're having pimples just because they're teenagers. I get it. Some of it is hormonal, but some of it is also bacterial. Okay. I don't know if you can tell, but my cheeks here are slightly rosier than my cheeks here, because that red heat is getting into the skin. So with this stuff, and you know, the pamphlet is very detailed in the information and telling you how to use it and how many minutes where. There are certain functions that you're doing that you have to avoid your thyroid area, just FYI. So those are the ones that have the electrical pulses. You definitely want to avoid your thyroid area with those. But with everything else, it's safe to use in the other areas of your face and your neck. So once this area is done, okay, so that beeped, it's done. The next thing is a cooling function. Like I said, the cooling function, I usually use for just under my eyes, but I only do that when I'm done with all the quarters of my face. So you're gonna see, so in between the pulsating, it stops, and then it just gives you some heat. Although it doesn't come with infrared, you know, with the heat, but it definitely gives you, you know, some amount of heat. Okay, here. Did you see that? When I put it on 3, you could actually see my mouth twitching. When I had it here, my mouth was twitching. So it's exercising that muscle and pulling it, you know, just so that it tightens, and my mouth might, oh, okay, look at this. That's the pulse. When I put it on 3, that's what it does. Look at when I move it here. You see that? And it's even twitching. So you see, okay, let me move it back to 2. I'm sorry. I love you guys, but let's not play this kind of game. We're not playing that kind of a game. Yeah, so I just leave it on 2 for these areas. I feel it, you know, the pulsating thing, but it's not twitching my muscles. As I use it more and more, I get used to the sensation, and I'm able to do it at a higher level. But when I haven't used it in a while, like now, I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry. It's just so weird for me to see that and feel that twitching. It's just spooky to me. Okay, so this is what I do. I used to do it every other day for at least, let's see, maybe 2 months. I was doing it every other day. Now I just do it when I remember. And always don't forget the upper lip, because you know your lip is going to droop and start to look some way when you're older. So never forget your upper lip. You always want to treat it, right? The eye area and the lip area, you always want to make sure you continue to treat it and keep it looking young and supple. Okay, friends and family, I'm not going to take up more of your time. So I'll see you guys later. In case I forget to close this video out a different day, different time, remember, strive to thrive. Don't just exist and mosey on along. I feel like, you know, a lot of us just do the mundane things day to day, and just before you know it, a month has passed, a year has passed, 10 years have passed, and you can't tell anything that you've done with your life, any successes, any significant things that you've done for others or for yourself. So try to strive to actually thrive and bless somebody. Try to bless somebody. That's where I get the most joy from in my life, blessing other people and doing things for people. So let's try and love one another, compliment one another, and just be there for one another. Until next time, I'll see you in the very next video. Stay blessed.